Hi everyone in Guitarland, welcome back. This is video number 2 for Reading Tab. So if you haven't seen the first video, I suggest you stop this and check out the first one first and then come back to this one because this is just a supplemental, okay? So, last time, quick review, we talked about which lines represent which strings and that the numbers represent the frets on the guitar, okay? So now, we're going to talk about a few different symbols that you might find and what they mean. So for example, if I went to the 4th string and I had a 2 with a little rainbow thing going to a 4, what would that mean? Well, a little rainbow means that you're going to hammer on the next note. You're not going to pick it. So again, this is the 4th string. I'm going to go to the 4th string and play the 2nd fret. Okay? And then, normally if it was just 2-4, I'd play 2-4. Now, I'm just going to play the first note and hammer on to the 2nd note, okay? So it might be easier if you used your 1st and 3rd fingers. Play the 2nd note with your 1st finger, and you hammer on. So yeah, I just picked the 1st note. Okay? That's a hammer on. Now, the opposite of that would be a pull-off. And I'll do that on the 1st string. So I've got 3 and a 1 with kind of like a U attaching them. So it would be the opposite of what looks like that rainbow. So this is a pull-off. Instead of playing 3-1 on the 1st string like this, I'm going to play the 1st note and then pull off so that I can hear the 2nd note. Alright, so that's a hammer-on, that's a pull-off. Now, another symbol that you might find would be, let's use the 5th string and play 7 to 9. So, that diagonal line represents a slide. So you're going to play the 1st note, you're going to play on the 5th string, the 7th fret, and you're going to slide up to the 9th fret. Okay? So, hammer on, pull off, slide. Okay? And you can slide in both directions. So, another example would be on the 2nd string, going from 5 to 3. So generally that's a diagonal line in the other direction. Not always, but most of the time that's the case. So 2nd string, 5th fret, sliding down to the 3rd fret, okay? In all of these cases, you're really just picking the 1st note and then doing something else to create the sound of the 2nd note, okay? A couple other signs might be, here let me get rid of some of this, might be a bend. Alright, now this is assuming that you know how to execute all of these techniques. If not, then find the video that explains them, okay? But right now, a bend. So let's say we have a 5, and a bend is generally drawn like that. So it's kind of like a half U going up with an arrow. So if we're on the 5th fret of the 1st string, we play that note and bend it up. Now usually it'll say half step bend, whole step bend, so a half step bend would be bending 5 to that note. Or 5 to 7 would be a whole step. Alright? Now, so you're bending up to those pitches. One more symbol that you find pretty commonly would be a squiggly line. That generally represents vibrato. Vibrato is a complicated technique for a beginner to really grasp and get steady, but if you look at the 2nd string, 8th fret, and you gently rock the string back and forth, again, if you're not familiar with the techniques, we'll have another video describing how to execute all of them. But anyway, this is what it represents. So, an 8th fret, 2nd string, squiggly line. Okay? That's a vibrato. Alright, now Now there's fast vibrato, and slow, and wide. Many different styles of vibrato. That's generally signified by how wide the squiggly line is, how fast and short it is, how slow it is. Sometimes it's just generic and you have to figure it out for yourself. Okay? So those are the basic symbols that you'll find. There are a few others. If you have any specific questions, go ahead and write in the comment section below or send me an email. You can also visit me on my website, www.guitarlessonlive.com, and fill out a form to sign up for a free one-on-one webcam lesson. And I'd be glad to answer any of your questions here or there, okay? So until then, keep on rocking.